Hey Peyton, nice to see you again on this beautiful day. This time with a quote by Oliver Burkeman, where he says, "True security lies in the unrestrained embrace of insecurity, in the recognition that we never really stand on solid ground and never can." True security lies in the unrestrained embrace of insecurity. Peyton, what ideas come to mind when you hear that?
Good to be back with you, my friend. This quote to me points to the possibility and the importance of a unilateral surrender to reality. This actual, demonstrable, clear truth of our experience that we're not ultimately in control, that we can't ultimately hold on to something that we wish to hold on to forever, that we aren't the master of external circumstances and events, and that we are a surfer on the waves, but we can never actually determine what wave comes next, what direction it goes, how high it is, exactly when it comes. We can never stop the waves from coming and say that I demand that the ocean be completely still right now. And we can never hold on to a wave. The waves come, the waves move us, and our only good option in this circumstance is to learn to surf the actual waves of reality, not knowing exactly what will come next, not knowing exactly when it will come, but to commit ourselves and to give ourselves to reality, to flow with it with bendiness, rather than trying to, in a futile attempt, hold on to events or hold at bay events with a firm grasp of rigidity. How do you think about this way of being? What does this actually feel like when we can experience the full embodied embrace of insecurity, when we can experience how it feels to give up clinging to experience or holding at bay things that we don't wish to happen?
Yeah, beautiful. When we see and realize that everything is impermanent and everything is in a flow and a constant flux of ever changing circumstances, then we also see that resistance to this flow is futile, and it is better to align with whatever changes and try to move with it, and try to move in a way where you don't drown in the flow, or where you not get stuck in a whirlwind, or where you just flow with the flow, be aligned with the flow. I guess then you have the ability, to flow, like we said. So, insecurity is a way of life when it comes to choices. If you try to have 100% security and try to have an asymmetric payoff from the choices you make, then probably it's too late if you have 100% of the information. I guess some optimum is around at 70% of the information you need to know to decide whether to go, whether to stop, whether to change something about the decision. And the rest is guts and intuitions. It's about, again, trusting what you know, what your body knows, what your team knows, what the people around you know, your network knows, the things you build up through experience, through working together. And with that, trying to see reality as it is, taking in the information as they come. But then, even though you don't have all the information, even though you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, just interpolate and guess the rest of the puzzle and try to envision the rest of the image that you want to project, and then move and trust your flow. So do not resist whatever changes, but embrace it and align yourself with it. And then you can lead a good life, in my opinion.
This alignment is a unity. It is ceasing to divide ourselves from reality and stand over here and judge the things over there as good or not good, as for us or against us. Rather, it's this recognition that in this now, in this moment, the moment is already here. I am literally sitting in the room that I'm actually sitting in right now. And every chair in this room is in exactly the position that it is now in. The moment as it has already arrived is always non-negotiable. And when we divide ourselves from that moment and judge it and say, this is good, but I don't want this to be true in this moment, we never actually win the disagreement. We only cut ourselves off. We cut ourselves off from the light, we cut ourselves off from the source if we choose to disagree with reality. The truth is that there is this one divine, spontaneous unfolding. We are always in the now. And the now always contains a few intrinsic qualities. And one is past and everything that happened in it, all the stuff that was what we wish, all the stuff that we didn't wish, all the stuff that we did, all the stuff that other people did, all the stuff that happened regardless of anybody's intentions or wishes. All of that is non-negotiable. That is reality. We are thrown into this moment. We can never reach back into the past and change it. And so no disagreement with the past works. Same with the now, everything around us. Whether or not the light is on in this room, whether the rug is in the other room, whether it is sunny outside or raining outside, whether it is warm or whether it is cold, whether my car is parked over here or whether my car is parked over there, whether there is a full tank of gas in my car or an empty tank of gas, whether my stomach is full or whether my stomach is empty. The moment has already arrived. Everything in this moment right now is non-negotiable. We can walk with intention toward the future, but we never win by disagreeing with the present. And we also don't have the ability to hold the present where it is. I think this effort to sort of overcome or to handle the fear that we have with the insecurity of our reality and our existence. We want to deal with the insecurity of knowing that I could die today. Somebody could yank their steering wheel on the interstate and kill me on my way to the next place I go after this conversation. I could be hiking in the forest and a tree falls on me tomorrow. And any number of things short of me dying could also happen. I might have a budding tumor in my head right now. It's outside of my control. There are so many ways in which we are exposed to fate. So many ways that we are exposed to destiny. And those people who have kids, of which one day I will be one, are furthermore giving hostages to destiny. Hostages left and right that you care about more than your own well-being, and you have to watch as they are exposed to the whims of reality and to the universe. And trying to hold on to things and make them do what we want or not do what we don't want is futile. Imagine that I am the owner of a large boat, and the boat is sort of just close to the shore, and it is not docked or anchored, and I have a rope in my hands, and it is a large boat, like a 20-meter long boat, and there is a storm coming. And I want the boat to stay close to the shore. And I have the rope in my hands. And I say, okay, I want to stay right here. I want the boat to stay right here. So I'm going to create something that I can hold on to in this hand or attach myself to the solid ground right here in this hand and hold on to this rope so that the boat stays. It's not going to work. The boat is bigger and stronger than we are, and we don't have the strength to hold it. If we hold onto the rope, we will get rope burn, and existence will hurt, and we will injure ourselves, and we will be less capable of going and retrieving the boat and working with the reality that unfolds. We don't have the ability to hold the storm at bay or to be strong enough to hold the external objects of our reality in place. It's outside of our capacity. It's outside of our powers. And if we try to cling on to a self-deception that we can, we hurt ourselves and we inhibit our ability to actually do what is within our control. This fixation on what's outside of our control weakens us to navigate what's in my control. And so we are stronger, we are more empowered when we trust in the spontaneous unfolding, when we trust in the divine, when we trust in the reality that the universe has presented and manifested for us in this moment and fully accept it, fully give ourselves to it, fully align ourselves with the actual reality that is here. And that is a choice that must come unilaterally. It is not going to meet us in the middle. It is not going to compromise with us in this moment, right now. The future we can navigate with intention and things can change in a favorable way. The now, the whole surrender. The reality is here and we are here. We will not meet here. We can only meet here by meeting reality on reality's terms. That is the basis for this. And it comes from partly a surrender to the insecurity of reality, surrender to, I know I can't hold this giant boat in place. I know it's outside of my power. And this accepting and letting go of the delusion of control of all of external reality. How do we find that surrender? How do we notice when we've deviated from it? How do we find the difference between intentionality and delusional, futile resistance to what is already here?
I guess that surrender part always has to be approached with the middle way in mind. If you surrender to the ever changing unfolding of things in a way where you abdicate your agency, it is just like learned helplessness, and you just recline and expect fate to happen to you, and then you vegetate and then you die. This defeating surrender, which is not the part which we talk about. Our surrender is more like the total embrace of the things we don't know, the things that are happening to us here and now, and taking full responsibility and ownership of what we can do about it, of our own agency to deal with it. It is about distinguishing what is in our control and what is without our control. And with that mindset, we can surrender to insecurity. We can surrender to the ever changing flow and accept that things will change, that we live and that life includes suffering, life includes pain, life includes decay, and eventually life includes that life dies. But this is the beauty of life, that it lives. And it's not about life to live forever. For life, it is about change. A flower is not only perfect in its state where it blooms, but in every stage where it creates a precondition for itself to create this beautiful flower bud which blooms and shows its beauty and eventually produces fruit. And then the fruit dies off, goes into the ground, and new seedlings appear. It is about embracing that we are part of something bigger, that we ourselves are not the important stuff, that our ego is not important, that we are not important artworks which are to be saved from taking a scratch, taking a hit, or whatever. We are more like potatoes, which it's good to beat them into the ground so that some new potatoes can grow. It is about surrendering to the impermanence of life, but taking action and owning our agency, that we one day leave a legacy behind which will be bigger than ourselves, that we put ourselves as a cog into the bigger machine and be aware that we are here to serve each other. We are here to love each other. And we are here to be kind to each other. And with that mindset, which reminds me of Stoic mindset, or even a little bit about the Buddhist ideas of impermanence, about suffering, if we cling to illusions of control, if we cling to rigid structures in our wishes that we want, if we cling to it, it leads to suffering. But if we realize that we can just surrender to the flow, then we lose ourselves and we merge into something bigger. And with that mindset, we can thrive in uncertainty. Like Nassim Taleb said, that's what I remember. Stoicism, it seems, is like an operating system for the mind, which helps its practitioners to thrive in the midst of chaos and to stay an agent, to stay operative. And I guess this is the middle way. Don't abdicate your agency, but accept that everything will change, that we will lose something, that we will get hit our head onto some hard truth or some bad fate, But we can deal with it. We have capacity to embrace it and to do stuff to the best of our abilities. What do you think
And
about that
this
distinction?
totally feel it in this analogy that comes to mind as we walk our path, as we walk this uncertain, dynamic, ever-changing external environment where there's so much context, there's so many offsetting momentums going on that we can't actually map it out in words and logic. Is really we have two tools to navigate a treacherous and ever-changing landscape. So imagine you're on an alien planet and you need to get to a city that's far away because that's where they have food and shelter. And you have two things in your hand. On one hand you have your map, and on one hand you have a lantern. And it's a magic lantern. And the map is something that you've had to draw yourself, and it's been really hard to figure out how to draw maps. It's been hard to learn. You went to school for 12 years. Your parents helped to explain to you how to make a map. Your culture gives you instructions. You see new little things to add to your map when you scroll Twitter or Reddit, and you read a book, and that helps you with understand this part of how to make a better map. And you really worked hard on this map. But this magic lantern was just given to you. This magic lantern is something that nobody else can see what it's illuminating but you. You have your own magic lantern. You can't show what the magic lantern is saying to other people. And the magic lantern only shows you the next 2 steps. It never shows you the entire way. It never converts into becoming a map. And the difficulty before us, the temptation before us, is we work so hard on this map, we can show this map to others. Others helped us write this map. However, the territory is constantly shifting. All of a sudden, there's this sinkhole in front of us, and there's this monster coming out of that cave over here that the map thought we were supposed to walk by. And this one slope is way higher, way steeper than the map previously told us, and so we might have to go back from where we thought we were following in the map to circle around it. Meanwhile, the lantern always tells us the truth, but it always tells us today's truth. It always tells us what to do in this moment. And it doesn't give us the satisfaction or the security of showing us the entire path all at once on a map. What we're tempted to do much of the time, because we've spent so much time working on this map, this lantern was just given to us, and this lantern doesn't make maps. It just shows us the next 2 steps to take. Is we're tempted to cover our face up with the map, study the map, cling on to the map, and see that this map leads to the destination that I want, and put it over the lantern. Basically, we're not looking at the next 2 steps that the lantern illuminates for us because we're covering up our face with our map of what we want to happen and how we're going to do it and how we're going to control the whole way between here and there and how we can figure out every step and how we've gotten to the bottom of it and we have a clean narrative and story in our mind. We know who we are and where we're going and why and all the aspects about it, and it's within our grasp. If we're covering up our face with our map of reality, with our map of the future that we've worked so hard to create, then we're not going to be able to see the next 2 steps in front of us that actually is in the territory, in the reality. Our magic lantern will tell us exactly where to step here so that we don't fall through a sinkhole or go into quicksand. Our map might tell us to go straight into here, but our lantern says, oh, there's behind there, or there's a better way, actually a shortcut if we go this way. And the lantern will always show us the next couple of steps that we should take. But it's insecure to follow the lantern. It's insecure to follow our intuition. It's insecure to follow the light. Jesus says that give us this day our daily lachma, which was the Aramaic word that means 2 things. It means bread, like give us today our daily provisions. Give us what we need to sustain ourselves. But it also means wisdom. The same word means bread and wisdom in his original Aramaic tongue. Give us this day our daily wisdom. This is following the lantern of our inner divine guidance, our inner GPS system. It's so much better, the fruits, when we pay attention to our lives, when we follow the lantern versus only cling to the map. The fruits are way better when we look at the next steps that the light is illuminating before us. However, it's fine to have a map. It's fine to reference the map. It's fine to take all our steps with the lantern and then pick up the map and just sense check where we're at, where we're going, the big picture, and have some concepts around the whole thing. We don't have to throw away the map and leave it at home. But we should be looking for our next steps from the lantern and what's actually right in front of us, what's right here with us and around us, not with a rigid conceptual word label overlay over reality that becomes less and less applicable to the actual this moment next thing that I need to do. And so this is kind of how I think we should, at least experientially, feel like we're walking our path. I trust this lantern to show me the next 2 best steps. I can go back to my map to see where I'm at and where I'm going and how long it'll probably take to get there and what I should expect along the way, more or less. But this is where I'm finding out the next thing that I need to do, how I need to show up in this situation, what this moment requires of me. And it's insecure to do so, because it doesn't show you 10 steps. We have to go and we have to continually trust in the light to take us to where we're going.
That is beautiful. Such a beautiful analogy of that the map is there to help us find a way, but is definitely not the way we should look at when we are in the territory and try to act. It's about seeing the next best step in the real world, where we are, embracing the insecurity of not knowing what there is, and embracing the fact that the map is not the territory. The map has so much more reduced information in it. But to really live in the world, we need to take in all of the world with our senses and make sense out of that. Maybe in comparison with the map and with guidance by the map, but always trusting our intuition. And even better if we have some friends who are map experts or territory experts in different
Yes.
realms. Walking together is so much more fun and so much more secure because some people know what kind of plants these are. Some people know the geography of the location of the territory we are on. Some people can deal with the weather which the territory provides and ever changes and make sense of it. And then together we can have a beautiful adventure. And not only have a beautiful adventure, but eventually reach one peak, one goal after another. And then finding that it's about the journey and enjoying the process of sharing the travel together and not about reaching the goal. Like in a dance, like in music, like in life.
Yes. A beautiful thing, a beautiful thing. May we become very skillful, very humble, and very insecure followers of the lantern as we walk our path. I'm aspiring to align myself completely with the reality that's in front of me, and I'm inspired to let go completely of control over the future. Trust in the next two steps that are right in front of me, and let go of my clinging to holding on to the way that I think I need things to go, and the route that I think I need to take to get to the place that I think I need to get. And just instead abandon my attachments to these things, abandon this false delusion that I'm trying to hold on to so tight that I can control all of reality, and just do my best with what I've got where I'm at. And that's what I'm trying to do this week. How about you, my friend? What are your intentions?
The more we let go, the more we flow. It's about same. I also have the intention to embrace the insecurity which lies before me, to map out the next step according to what I find, what the lantern shows me. The more
Beautiful.
we let go, the more we can flow. So let's flow, Peyton.
Let us
See you
flow.
next time.
Great talking to you, my friend. I will see you next week.
Likewise. Bye.
Bye bye.